What is up, everybody? Cubic here with one of my first music production videos on this channel. So today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new synthesizer that just released called Vital. I'm going to be breaking down every section of the synthesizer, all the features, hidden features, and hopefully give you a basic understanding of all the features that Vital has to offer so that you can quickly learn how to integrate this brand new amazing synthesizer into your workflow. So let's get started.
Hello, please excuse the connection.
All right, so this is the screen that we get when you first boot up Vital. This is the initial preset, and as you can see, we've got the first oscillator enabled. In order to enable the other three oscillators that come with Vital, you click this little circle on the top left corner. So Vital does come with 3 oscillators to begin with, as well as a sampler, which you could use as a noise generator or a 4th oscillator if you so desired. I will first off be breaking down the oscillators and the features that come with each one, and then I'll go into the sampler real quick for this video. Over the course of this whole series, I'll be breaking out every individual section of the synthesizer and going in depth to certain features that I think are really important for you to understand so you can get the most potential out of this brand new synthesizer. So to start things off, we'll take a look at the oscillators. I already broke down how to turn it on and off, which is important. Next, we're going to go over the volume. So that is the volume knob of the oscillators. We've also got a panning knob to bring the sound left to right. Then we've got the ability to transpose the oscillator, which is pretty typical of any synthesizer. So you can bring it up by semitones, or if you hold down shift and drag, you can bring the oscillator up by octaves. We've also got a little fine tune knob over here if you'd prefer to just tune the oscillator by sense, or possibly automate this for a vibrato effect. Then right in here, we've got this amazing feature that they've added called Transpose Snap, which I will go more in depth after I get through the more basic features on the oscillator. So next, we've got an awesome feature, probably that seems kind of inspired from the way phase plant works, where you're able to route the oscillator to wherever you'd like. So you can route it to filter 1 or filter 2, which are located down here. I'll be making a separate video on the filters. You can also route it to filter 1 and 2, but the way that they do it is you send a dry signal from the oscillator in parallel to filter 1 and filter 2. So that means that you can basically send 2 copies of this saw wave, 1 copy going to filter 1, which I could high pass it and do whatever I want, automate that filter, but then it'll also be sending another copy of the sound to filter 2, which I could put a Combs filter on. And so that opens up a whole slew of possibilities that I honestly didn't even think about until I sat down to make this guide for Vital. So that's something I highly recommend experimenting with and will really allow us to sculpt some really cool sounds. You can also route the oscillator directly to the effects chain, which is located in this tab, as well as you can send it directly out to the master, meaning it'll bypass all the effects, all the filters, and it'll just be this dry signal. Moving on to probably the most important part of the oscillator, this is a wavetable synthesizer, meaning the sounds are generated via wavetables, which are just basically different types of wave shapes that you can either create by accessing the wavetable editor by clicking this pencil, which I will be breaking down the wavetable editor. It's probably one of my favorite wavetable editors of any synthesizer I've messed with, so definitely stay tuned for that. But if you click up here, you can select your wavetables. You can also add a folder if you have your own custom wavetables, or your friend sent you a pack, or you buy one of my future Vital wavetable packs. Then we also have an option here to change the view of the wavetable. So this is the 2D view. Then we've got the 3D view, but then there's also this third view, which is called the spectral view. And this shows basically the frequency spectrum of your wavetable via harmonics. So you'll see later on, but if I adjust the frame which this is basically the same as the wavetable position in Serum. Let me put on a shape that actually has different frames. So basically this scrolls through the different frames of your wavetable. As you can see, this is the basic shapes wavetable, which comes with Vital, and it has the basic shapes. So sine wave, square wave, triangle wave, saw wave, another square wave. I guess this one isn't quite a square wave, but it's squarified. And then different pulse widths of the square wave. But frame scrolls through all the different frames. You can also modulate it, which is great if you have certain wavetables that kind of create a growl or something like that. But anyways, back to what I was talking about, the spectrum. Basically, it shows you the harmonics of your wavetable. So as you can see, this is a triangle wave, and it's showing you, like, if you listen to it, it seems pretty dull in the high end, and you can see from the spectrum view that there's 0 harmonics up here. And so you can see that it's really strong in the low end. It's got a lot of thicker harmonics, and then it just kind of thins out as it goes higher. And so that's really helpful information when you're sculpting your sounds, layering different oscillators. It's really helpful to know, and it's probably a mode that I have and probably will be using a lot more. Moving on, we've got a unison section where you can add unison voices to your sound. And then you have the option to detune them. So you can just turn it all the way up for just a louder, thicker, tinnier sound versus this, versus that. Then you can detune it. And then you can also, when it's detuned, you can choose, basically this is the amount of blend. Like if you use phase plant or Serum, you have that option to basically, do you want all those detuned voices to mostly be focused in the center, or do you want them to spread out around the spectrum and be really stereo and phasey? So yeah, if you drag this, that's how you adjust that. Let me turn this down. Then we also have the ability to choose what part of the phase of the wavetable we would like our sound to start whenever we click a key. You have the option to choose phase randomization. So basically what that does is it can make it so every time you click a note, the sound starts at a different part of the phase. So that means basically, in layman's terms, when it's at 100%, every note you click is going to be slightly different. It's going to sound slightly different tone, slightly different phasing. But if I turn it down all the way, every note I click should behave and sound exactly the same. So with phase, you can tend to see it more with when you have the voices up and you're messing around with unison. But as you can see, every note I click, it's kind of in a different section of the stereo spectrum, and it sounds just slightly different the way it's behaving. But now if I turn the phase randomization down, and so especially when you're using unison and voices, it's especially important how you have the phase settings set, as well as when you're using FM, which that will bring us into the warp modes. You've got pretty much typical warp modes that you'll find in a lot of synths, such as Serum and Phase Plant. You got sync, formant, quantize, bend, squeeze, pulse, as well as you can FM from the 2 other oscillators or the sampler, and you can also RM from the 2 other oscillators in the sampler. FM is basically Yamaha style phase modulation, pretty common for modern production and modern synthesizers, same type of FM as Serum. And then we also have ring modulation, which is just a different type of modulation. I haven't actually done a lot with ring modulation, but it can produce some really cool tones. So definitely experiment with that. So I'll be going over all these different wave morphing styles, as they're called in Vital, in a separate video, as well as the spectral morphing styles, which is another way to morph your wavetable and do some crazy cool modifications to your sounds. In Vital, they have provided us vocode, formant scale, harmonic stretch, inharmonic stretch, smear, random amplitudes, low pass, high pass, phase disperse, shepherd tone, spectral time skew, and more to come. These are probably one of the biggest selling points for me, a vital. I've never seen things like this available in any other of the synths that I've used, and these have been some phenomenal features. I'll definitely be breaking all of them down individually. Now, before I move on to the sampler, I have two more things to show you guys. We do have the ability to save whatever your current wavetable is to a folder. You can also copy and paste the wavetable into the other oscillators by just right-clicking copy, and then on these ones right-clicking and pasting. You can also initialize the wavetable. You can do text to wavetable, which you can only do a certain amount of times if you have the free version, but this is truly phenomenal. Let me just demonstrate it real quick. So you can change the language by clicking right here. I'm just going to keep it in US, but they literally have all sorts of different languages. It's really cool and really fun to play around with. And I'll just write cubic. And so you type whatever you want, you click enter, and it turns your wavetable into text to speech. If I just put an LFO on the frame so that it scans through, you'll hear
cubic.
So pretty freaking cool. You can do so much with that. You can also go into the wavetable editor and apply effects to that and make some crazy sounds using text to speech, make basses out of the word rhythm, like really fun stuff like that. It's going to be really fun to see what people use the text to wavetable for. Then we also have the option to resynthesize the preset to the wavetable. That's something that's available in Serum, I know. And yeah, basically you can resynthesize your entire preset that you're working on back into your wavetable. I do not know all the specifics of that, like what node it synthesizes it at and everything like that. So I'm sorry I can't provide that, but there's not a manual out yet where I can find out that information. So I will definitely try to update you guys in the future about that stuff. And then the final thing to go over here is the transpose snap. So the transpose snap basically allows you to, I mean, the simplest way I can put it is you can make really cool ARPs. You can also use it in other creative ways, but the best use I've found it to be used for is using it for ARPs. So let me kind of demonstrate how it works. So basically, if I do any sort of modulating the pitch of the oscillator, the transpose, so like this. So we can just do it normally like that. We're automating the pitch. But if you go into the transpose snap, you have keys here: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. Basically, whatever note you click on here, it'll start snapping the transpose or pitch modulation to those notes. So let's say I want to make an ARP that goes C, E, and G. All right. Now, if you listen in a second, every time this modulates the pitch, it'll snap to C, D, and G, or I mean C, E, and G. Now, there is this option here called global snap. So basically, right now, if I play a C note, it'll snap to these three notes that I selected. But now if I play D, it will basically shift these three notes I selected up to D. And so think of it like a scale, whatever the root note is. So if I play the root note of C, well, I have this sitting 3 semitones higher, and then another one sitting another 2 semitones higher. So now if I play a D, then it'll shift it to playing one note 3 semitones higher and one note another 2 semitones above that. But now if I put on global snap, no matter what note I click, it will always snap the notes to the ones I've selected. So if you listen here, it'll be you'll hear like a change in like timbre, but it'll all end up being C, E, and G. So this can be super super helpful, especially when you're trying to make ARPs or just more precise pitch bends, things like that. So definitely experiment around with the transpose snap. But yeah, so that's basically all the features we're given with the oscillators. I'm definitely, like I said, going to go into the different warp modes, and then let me just quickly break down the sampler for you guys before we move on to the next section. So the sampler, in terms of the pitch features, they work the same as the oscillator. You also have the ability to route. Over here, kind of similar to selecting the wavetable, you can select the different noises. There's factory noises that come with Vital, and then you can also add folders of your own noises, which is helpful, and you should be able to drag in samples. I'm not completely sure on that, but definitely try it out for yourself. I probably should have tested that before I made this video, but it's easy enough to just try for yourself. Then we have the level, we have panning, then we have the ability to note track. And so if I turn all the way up here, you can hear slightly that the white noise is changing pitch. If you turn this on, it loops it. If you turn this on, well, actually, let me keep the looping on. If you turn this on, it basically goes back and forth. And then if you turn the shuffle on, every time you hit a note, it starts the noise at a different spot. So let me put a noise that's more evolving. So as you can see, every time I hit the note, it sends it to a random starting point in the noise spectrum. And so that can be really helpful to just add some variety and more human-like uniqueness to your sound, to where every single time you hit a note, it'll have a slightly different texture layered over it. So this is all we get with the oscillators. Again, 3 oscillators plus a sampler, pretty standard. A lot you can do between all of these. Definitely experiment, learn, and understand all these different features I went over. Let me know in the comments how this little beginner's guide is going so far. I've never done anything like this, so I hope it's informative. I hope you're getting some value from this, and let me know what other things you would like me to do tutorials on, what sorts of sounds you'd like to learn how to make, cool experiments to try with Vital, whatever it is. Definitely let me know in the comments. Like the video if this was helpful to you. Subscribe for more content, and I'm going to be putting out an entire guide breaking down every single feature of Vital. So definitely stay tuned, and yeah, thanks for watching, and go have fun playing with this brand new synthesizer.